So, welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About Teams. Today we have Carsten on board and we're going to talk a bit about some of the major things that are coming into the Teams rooms as of now. So we talked a little bit about it before we started the recording about licenses for Teams rooms. Can you kind of explain what's going on?
Yeah. Historically, a lot of times we have had a small room with a leader or other is sitting and having a small meeting room with a couple of chairs and meetings and so on. And he or she has signed in with a personal account, normally an E license, E3 or 5 or something like that. And that has been working fine and you could see all the calendar and so on. Microsoft has decided that from the 1st of July that no meeting rooms can sign in with a personal license, that it needs a room license. And of course, that's with all the benefits there are around all the meetings, all the layout, all the AI that are putting behind and so on. So, but very important that from the 1st of July, all meeting rooms will stop working with a personal sign-in or a license.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it kind of makes sense. If I was the CEO and I had my small meeting table, then it would make sense that I use an E-license, even though it was not allowed at Microsoft. But we also seen a lot of organizations that used an E-license for a lot of the meeting rooms because they already had the license. So even though it was not allowed, people used it, and that's some of the things that Microsoft is now stopping. So yeah, as you say, from the 1st of July, if you have an E-license,
right license for the right operation. That's. And some of the places where you can see it, because a question comes up and say, hey, how do I actually know somebody have signed in? And we are a large organization and we think that we are in control of our licenses, but we are not 100% sure that there are not a meeting room in some site in a different part of the world that we don't know. So how do we control it? Well, first, in a link below, there will be a video where I will go in detail with it, but pretty much you go into Teams Admin Center and under Android devices, all your devices are listed, and there's also a column saying which license are you on. Are you on the standard or in a pro or are you basic, or where are you with your licensing? So that is a really nice place to get an overview of your devices.
Yeah, so what if I was still the CEO? I kind of like the idea, and I want my own system in my own office, and I want my meetings to come up on that Teams rooms.
Then you have a problem right now. You need to book that meeting room within all your meetings. As for now, we don't know what Microsoft are working on. We are crossing our fingers that there will come some more personalized stuff on it. I could, and that's my own thought, you could imagine that when Service Hub is also being retired, that personal sign-in experience that you have, maybe that part is coming into the meeting room. But again, not official, nothing, just guessing.
Yeah, or you could actually today take your personal license and then add a Teams Rooms Pro license on top, stack the licenses, and then you're actually allowed to sign in with your own account. But of course, that have a cost.
Yeah, and again, you're saying the cost, and you can't use that meeting room for anything else. It's bound into the personal license, but
Yeah, exactly. So that's a really important thing that you need to be aware of. Like the 1st of July, that's another way that you know you're not using the correct licenses, is that your user would start calling you the 1st of July, say the equipment is not working. So please make sure that this is updated before the 1st of July.
Yeah. An important thing, it might not be on the clock 1st of July. It might be the device is still signed in, so it will need to be a re-authentication. That will not happen. So you might think, I survived, my rooms are still working when I leave the office the 1st of July, and then we come next day because there have been a re-authentication and doesn't work. So there are no workaround on that one. Buy a license, have the cost. If you use a meeting room, you should pay for the meeting room.
Yeah, exactly. So next up, what else happening? There was some updates in Teams Admin Center?
Yeah, the update process, when we have a lot of Android rooms and Android Teams phones as well, because they're also running on the Android operating system. So all devices that are running on Android, Microsoft have put in a new update function where it auto-updates.
Yeah.
And that's really nice. And we actually have the options to put it on 3 different rings. So how fast should the update come? So when Microsoft are releasing an update, should it immediately go to the room? That's something that you need to change. Go into the room and say, hey, I want to change this one to immediately get updates.
Yeah.
General, that's within the 30 days, I think it is. And then we have a late response where it's 90 days.
Yeah.
So you can classify your different devices or rooms and saying how often or how early should they get a new, not often, how early should they get the new apps. So I think that's a very nice feature.
Yeah, I usually say to the customers that it would be nice that you are aware of the new things going on the Teams rooms before everyone else.
Yeah.
So if you have on your own Teams rooms near the IT department, then I would definitely make that on the early adapter or the earliest
definitely.
ring.
Yeah.
And then maybe the rest of the company then use a slight delay on that.
Yeah, and a second comment on that is also, if you have your own testing meeting room, make sure that you enable preview and so on. So you also get even further, you get the app, but you also have the option to see the preview features that are coming in. So
Yeah.
Urgent update and preview options. Yeah.
So what about the rings? Why do you set that up? Because I've also seen the rings in the Pro portal.
Yeah.
But can you set them up from the Teams admin?
You can set them in Teams admin centers as well.
Okay,
so,
that's nice.
Yeah. So you will have 2 options, as you're saying, the Pro portal where we can control all the nice features, very nice tools, but also in the tag now we can go in and define if it's right away, basic or late.
Okay, nice. Anything else in Teams Admin Center?
Yeah, 2 small changes or add-ons has come to the phone system. Now when we have the auto attendant and call queues where you're ringing into organization and say, hey, welcome to company, press 1 for sales or 2 for support. Yeah. Sometimes you need to change that message. Yeah. And right now it's something that you have been doing in the Teams Admin Center, but now we have the option to give access to some of the users to actually go in and change that from the Teams client itself. Yeah. So let's say that we are closing early and or we want to change the message that, we know we are busy at the moment. Then a selected person can go in Teams client, select the queue or auto attendant, and then change the welcome message. And of course, we have the text-to-speech. Microsoft is doing a very, very nice job doing that, even in special countries like Denmark and so on, where we're small and so on. They're doing a really good job on that. Or you can just upload your own file. Yeah. And then also a change has come to the auto attendant when we are in the old days when we were doing a schedule, setting the opening hours and so on. It was a little difficult and so on. Now they have made it easier where you have the option to say I want to set all my working day in one scope instead of having to go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So it's not a major change. Just make your everyday life way faster and easier. So
I would say the major thing would probably be that you don't need to call the IT admin every time that you need to change a setting, which would be annoying as an IT admin and also annoying for the user.
Yeah, and right now it's only the welcome message or the holiday message. And the holiday message, that's where we really see that one, the IT department, okay, 2 minutes to closing times, the department calling, hey, we need to change that and so on. So. And hopefully Microsoft are adding on to this one because our next wish is that we want a supervisor to be able to sign members in and out of the queues and so on to say, hey, we got new employers and we haven't, if it's not done by a dynamic group or something like that, we need to enter that new person into the group. So hopefully that will come in a future release. So, some small but nice add-ons coming on.
That's nice to have. But I would say the major thing from my point, since I'm working with the Teams rooms, I would definitely recommend you to look into the licenses of your Teams rooms.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The updating, the different rings, how fast they updates, that's also a really nice thing. And then of course on the phone systems, new updates there on the Teams Admin Center.
Perfect.
Okay, so thanks so much for watching. Let's talk about Teams. Today it was me and Carsten talking a bit about the licenses and the phone's updates in Teams Admin Center. So if you like short videos like this, please follow us where you see us now. Thanks.
Thanks.